to Joy Phido International. How are you today? I'm guessing you're doing great. My name is Joy Phido and I'm going to be chatting with you again as usual with all things beautiful. Now you know what our part of business called Joy Phido International is all about. Our mission here is to inspire you to success. So that's what we keep coming back to you about. So stay tuned and welcome on board. Okay, so before we get started, I'd like to say a big thank you to all our subscribers. All the people who have trusted in us and believed in us and just stay tuned to us every time we come out with a video. And to all the people who've been sending comments and messages and emails and telephone calls, thank you so much. I'll tell you one thing, we get people telling us that we inspire them so much that they're actually going out there and doing things they would normally not be doing. We are also, on the other hand, inspired by you, because when you send us comments and ask us questions, then ideas connect, and then we come back and tell you more things. So we're actually helping each other both ways. So while I come here and tell you things that I know, and you ask me questions, then you actually bring out more things from me. So I'm really grateful to all of you, and I'll say a big thank you to everyone who's been part of our journey so far. So one of the biggest questions that came across that really touched us was, people are curious about how we've grown this far. How did we do it? Because lots of people get inspired by other people's stories. And that's why we're happy to keep coming back to you with what we know. So our stories have been able to inspire lots of people. And each time we come out with new topics and new ideas, is always tied around our stories. Now remember, whatever we are in this world comes from other people who've been before us. So we are hoping our experiences in life will be able to inspire you to also grow, to inspire other people in future. So again, we're going to say a big thank you, and we're going to move on and go deeper into today's topic. So our big topic today is grow your money. It's about you growing your money. Now you tend to find that I talk about wealth, talk about happiness, talk about joy, and talk about how you can do things that will help make your life a lot easier. Money, we've talked about over and over. If you listen back to the things I talk about, it's a major part of us. We need it. We need it to help us grow. We need it to help us become who we want to be. So if you don't understand money, you're really not moving forward. You're not going anywhere soon. Now, something very interesting that came to my mind is, when we go to colleges or universities as we know them here, no one talks about money. And you find young students going to university, being paid lots of money for student loan. What happened? They waste it all. When they finish wasting it, finally finish the university, they come out, and then what happens? They are being chased all over the place to return the money. Now this is where stress starts to come in. So money is a major part of us, and we just have to learn to understand how we can make it work for us. So growing your money is about you understanding how you can actually push the little you have to become bigger, such that you're not put under this pressure. You find lots of us worry about our bills. We worry about our needs, but we're not worried about the money that's coming in. How do we get that money to come in so that we're not too stressed when it starts going out? So that's where we thought it is important we come across and tell you what has helped us as well. So grow your money is our topic today, not your bills, not your needs. So we talked about grow your money, not your bills and not your needs. Now this is something that's very important. Our needs will always be there, whether we like it or not. For as long as you are living, you will have needs. Our bills will always be there. Now especially for those of us in the Western world, what makes up bills? Electricity bill, like I'm using to come across with this video to you. Water bill, you have to drink water. Now clothes, now food, now the mortgage where you live or the rent where you live, these things are permanent. They're not going to run away, whether you like it or not, for as long as you live. But how do you not have money that will cover these bills? So the question was, or the message was, grow your money, not your needs. The needs will always be there, but the money needs to come in. So we're going to try and start looking at how we have been able to work with this. Now, my big question to you now is, look into your purse. Look into your bank account. Look into wherever you have your money coming in and ask yourself, where is your money going? What are you putting your money into? So for some of us, we're so keen about our clothes. Oh wow, it has to be perfect. It has to be designer. We're keen about our shoes. That shoe, who made it? We're focused on our handbags. Okay, I've talked about the 3 things I really love. But yeah, that's me. So are so many other people out there. Their clothes, their shoes, their handbags, then the perfumes, then the jewelry, then the makeup, and so the list goes on, then the hair. No, all of these are just personal things. But we grow further away from that and we go into our housing. So your mortgage is a necessity. You have to live somewhere, or your rent. And then your other bills we've talked about, electricity and water and the rest of them. Then some people get so excited about the telephone, which now is the latest craze, mobile phone or cell phone as you will call it in the US. So you get people who actually queue up anytime iPhone or Apple comes up with something new. I mean, this morning I just found out they got iPhone 6X or 6 Plus. I don't even know what they call it. So we had the iPhone 3 or maybe or 4. I know I had the 4S. And then they had the iPhone 5 and now 6 and then 6S. It just goes on. And each time a new one comes, people are there on the queue waiting to get it. So that's where your money is going. So you have to start asking yourself, start looking at it. And you're not talking about the bills that start following these phones. Start looking at, what about your iPad and then your, what's it called, computers, where the laptops, the various types come in. So these are gadgets. You're not talking about the furniture in your house. You're not talking about the large TV screen you want to stare at and just stare at other people do things. It just goes on. These are all your needs. And that's where the bills are coming from. So we're excited about the needs. We just want to have them. But when we talk about where is the money coming from, that's where everybody stops. This is where everything goes funny. This is where everybody starts getting stressed and getting worried. So start asking yourself, where is your money going? So there's a saying that I absolutely love. It says, give a man fish and he eats today. Teach a man to fish and he feeds for life. I love that saying so much, and I imbibe that saying into my life. So someone's hungry, they march to you and they say, oh please, I'm so hungry, could you give me some money to eat? So you give that person a little money and then they go down the road and they buy something and they eat and they are full for today. So no problem, today is sorted. What about tomorrow? What about next tomorrow? What about next year? What about 10 years time? This is where I get really interested. So I believe, teach a man to fish and he feeds for life. It's absolutely necessary in our lives. And how many people are looking at that? Because when you look around you, everyone wants to sell you something. They want to sell you that phone. They want to sell you that perfect shoe. They want to sell you the perfect bag, the perfect perfume, the perfect hair, hair extensions or wig or you name it. But no one's made it their business to say, you know what, I really want to know how you're going to have the money to buy these things from me. And I tell you, when I get all these people, like the banks, come and put money in the bank, no one's ever asked you, how do you get that money so you can put it in the bank? I went to a church once where these people were just interested in bringing tithes. Bring your tithe. Don't forget to bring your tithe. Tithe. And I was curious, how does this person get the money that they put into the tithe? That's me. That's who I am. And that's the kind of message I like to share with people. How do you have the money that you can use in spending in all these things we've talked about? So you need to really think hard. How do you learn how to fish so you can feed for life? There is where I'm interested in investing. That's where I want you to learn to grow your money. And that's why this video is coming to you today, to teach you how you can take your attention away from all that spending frivolously. Frivolously in the sense of, are these things bringing you back money? If you invest your money in iPhone 6s, is it bringing you back money? You have to think about it. If you're not using it for business, do you really need it? Or you just want to show off? You want to be part of the crowd? This is what is going on. People want to wear the latest Brazilian hair or Russian hair, whatever it is, just to show off. Has it brought you back money? You have to start thinking. Anywhere you're putting your money, is that money coming back? And that's where growing your money will come in, or investing in your own hands. It will help you change the way you see things. People like to hear a bit about my personal experiences. And I love to share them. I'm not one of those people who shy away from who I am and, oh, just look at me, I just, Beyonce, I woke up like this. No, I didn't wake up like this. I woke up struggling. I woke up trying to find who I am. I woke up asking questions, being curious about life. I woke up wanting answers to my questions. Now, a little bit about my background, which I've put in so many places, but apparently excites people and they want to hear more. So I'm happy to tell. I came from a family background of 16 siblings, 16 children. My dad had 2 wives. And with that background, you just have to survive. It's not like what you have today, especially here in the Western world, where everybody, you have to go over the top to make your child happy. And then all the presents come from left, right, and center, and everyone's up there and she's jumping with excitement. I never had that. We didn't even have birthday celebrations. We didn't know what that was. So with a background like that, how do you survive? And that was me. Eventually went through secondary school, went through university or college, as the Americans would call it, and then started working in banking. This was in Nigeria, and got to deputy manager level. I mean, in Nigeria, that's a lot of work. I got there, and then eventually thought, I need a bit more exposure. I want to see the world a bit more. So eventually came to England for so many stories, which not for today. Got to England, and guess what? I started afresh. Everything was brand new, like it never happened. Like I'd never been through all the experiences I'd been through. And so this was me put in some little room where I could touch both walls with my hands. And I thought the end of the world had come. But deep inside me, my spirit was strong, and it was like, this is just the beginning. Be ready, open up, you will learn. And I read a text the other day. Somebody just sent a text saying, you know, we come from Africa, and then we have these images in our head of this great life we're going to have in the West. And then you get there, and with all your education, you get nowhere. Some people end up cleaning toilets, cleaning people in homes, and doing things that they would not normally, with that level of education, do back where they came from. But that's the reality of the Western world for you. And so I had to struggle. Well, I'll say luckily I didn't have to do that. But then I went through so many more. I had to now go back to school. I went back to go and study again, did my MVQs, got those qualifications. By this time I'd had my daughter. And so I was pushing my pram with the little girl to go and drop with a minder and pushing myself back to school. And this was it. Continuously until I finished all that. Finished all that, what did I do? Luckily, got a job. But of course, nothing you would call a job, but it was a good start. Because again, I'm open. I am not one of those people who are so egomaniac. The last video we talked about people with ego. This is me, I'm supposed to be here, why am I here? I never had any of that. I was ready to level with anyone. So what did I do? Finished all of that. Eventually, God smiled on me. I got a job in telecoms. And then I finished I carried on with telecoms. It was great. It was fantastic. It was every dream you ever wished about. Money flowing, bought the home, bought everything that went with it. And then this is where things change. You have no control about life. Not even tomorrow do you know. Your Creator knows your every beginning and your every end. So sometimes when you're going through things, don't call it the end and say, that's it, I'm not going to move forward again. I was going through this time and I thought, yes, at last I'm here. But what happened? I was made redundant. The business moved on to another location. It wasn't working for me. And they said, well, we're sorry, we have to let you go. And they let me go. And you guess what? I had home mortgage to pay, I had bills, I had everything the needs were all there. But the money coming in had stopped. So at this stage, what will other people do? You give up, won't you? I didn't give up. Luckily, I read books, which is where, again, you have to think where you're putting your money. I started reading books. Because again, I went into something crazy, which was the herbal life I've talked about as well. Invested all my redundancy money in there. Not a penny came back. You still would have thought some people will give up. Lots of things could have happened at that stage. But I still didn't give up. Eventually, went and took my children's investment. Started training in hair. Because I had a passion for hair. And so when people start telling me, oh, you're charging us too much money for this, it's too expensive, I will show you the hair I trained with. So that's it. That was my training head over 12 years ago. I kept it safe because I know it will come in handy one day for people to get this message. Now, if you're careful and watching, you find that these are just two strands of each technique. 2 strands, each technique. 2 strands, each technique. 2 strands. And it just carried on. 2 strands. And this cost me more than $2,000 because I had to go over to the States, curious, coming from Africa. So I know everything about braiding. I grew up with braiding. I've always braided as a child. But somehow I was curious. I wanted to know what other people did with it. And so I took the trip. And I spent $2,000 for this training. Plus my accommodation, my fee, my travel fare, and you name it, and leaving my home and all of that. Now with this, you will not be able to do anybody's hair. But I learned a lot from there. I knew that this was something I was going to offer people. I was going to be able to support people and really pull them into the business. Since you have a passion, you have a love, when I work with you, I will make things happen. Okay, so I knew that I was ready to support people with skills because I was interested in skills. I realized that after all I'd done, banking, or I didn't mention going into legal, I worked in legal services, not to talk about various government parastatals. Then I went into buying and selling, which was the herbal life that drained all the money. And so, question was, what next? I have 4 children. What do I do next? How do I feed them? How do I protect their future? And so I did not even think twice when I knew that I had to use my children's money sitting in the bank doing nothing to invest in my hands. This is where this video is all about. Now, lots of us enjoy seeing our bank statement. Oh my God, look at how much money I have. We like to show up that way. Or maybe we invest in all the gadgets we've talked about. But one thing we never think about is, how does it come back to us? Now, if your money is sitting in the bank doing nothing, it will only be a matter of time you finish using it. That's the truth. Or if you put it into all these gadgets that are just sitting down there and doing nothing. In banking or in business, there's something they call liability and asset. Now, asset is something that's going to help you achieve more. But liability is just something that's going out. So you hear again in business, inflow and outflow. So inflow is the money coming in, outflow is the money going out. But I knew that if I put this money somewhere, that I can keep using it and using it again, then I'll be better off than just sitting it in the bank doing nothing. Because they're going to tempt you with, oh, we'll give you fantastic interest rates. I question it all the time. If I invested this £100 and all I'm getting is 5p, 10p, £1, but if I went and bought something that I could sell and make a 50% profit or 20% profit, which one will pay me more? And so that's how you have to be thinking. So I took my children's money and I was happy to train my hands, because I knew with my hands trained, I could make more money. Now that's where the secret is. So if you invest in yourself, which is grow your money, if you put that money into something that will grow, your future is guaranteed. Your future is brightened. You don't have to worry about, oh, where is the bills coming from? Because the bills will come. But your happiness now is, I have money coming in. And if you read that book, The Secret, I remember what she was trying to say as well, like, the minute the bill comes through the door, your heart skips. You're worried. Oh my goodness. But if another bill that came, or another letter that came in was a $5,000 check, for instance, and then you had a £50 or $50 bill coming through, would you be worried? No, because money has come in, so money can go out. But if nothing came in and then you had a $50,000 bill coming through, you're going to faint. Oh my goodness, how did that happen? What happened there? So this is where the message is. You have to start thinking, how can I invest in my hands to make it grow me money? In your hands, in whatever else you can think of, in your knowledge, you need to put the money where it will help you grow it, bring back more money. And I'll give you a good example from the Bible. Because again, I tend to find lots of my followers and subscribers are Christians. I am a Christian because I believe completely in the Creator, the Almighty, the God who created us here with a purpose and a mission. But unfortunately, we come out here and then things distract us and we forget who we are. So from time to time, go back into the Bible and remind yourself. Now, this is something I really want you to start thinking about. Following the kind of pastors that are around these days that are telling you stories that don't connect with the Bible, or what they tend to do is they pick the part of the Bible that suits them. You have to ask yourself, would God have allowed me to do this? Because trust me, if you expose yourself to God, He will speak directly to you. You don't need an intervention. That doesn't mean don't go to church. But you don't need people to tell you who you are. You need your God to tell you who you are. So the Bible, we're looking at Matthew 25. You could start from 14 to 24. I'm not going to read all of them, but I'll just give you the basic. And that's my Bible here. So 14, it says, for the kingdom of heaven is as a man traveling into a far country, who called his own servants and delivered unto them his goods. And unto one he gave 5 talents, to another he gave 2, and to another he gave 1, to every man according to his several ability, and straightway took his journey. So this man gave his servants money, which is known as talent. And I love to also really look at it as talent. Talent being your ability, what you can do. So he gave one 5, he gave one 2, he gave one 1. And he's gone off on a journey. He's left them to each do what you can do with it. Then he that had received the 5 talents went and traded the same, and made them over 5 talents. Likewise he that received 2. But he that received 1 digged the earth and hid his Lord's money. So I want you to read the rest and finish it off. The one who received 5 traded with it. The one who received 2 did the same thing. The one who received 1, what did he do? He opened the ground and put the talent in there. Now the talent grow in the ground. What that means is, if you have talent and you're not doing anything with it, that's what you're doing. You've just opened the ground and put it in there. If you go and trade with your talent, you're going to get back a millionfold. Okay, they're saying that the one who put 5 got 5 back. That's 100%. So if you put your money in your hands, which is your talent, you're going to continuously get money back. People don't think that way at all. I had to ask someone who called me recently, and she said to me, oh, your training pack is too expensive, it's $2,000, whatever, how much it must have been. And I said, really? Okay, how about the skills you're going to get out of it? Do you know how much you're going to be making? If we look at just one of the skills, say for instance cornrows, which we've done some maths, you charge us $40 per cornrow, or £40 per cornrow, depending on where you are. Now in a period of a week, you could also do 3 cornrows in a day if you really focused on this. How much money would you be making? And if I said to her, so if you're making over $30,000 from just cornrows in a year, would your $2,000 count at this stage? Then she realized what she just said. Because when you invest in your talent, all you're going to have back is just continuous money for life. I just told you my experience of working for various people. Now, since I got into doing my own thing, the $2,000 I paid to do my training, my travel money, leaving my family for the period, none of them count anymore. Because all I'm doing now is reaping what I sowed. And that's what it is. Putting your money in your own talent is like planting a tree. I've said that in so many other videos. That's what we call it, grow your money. You put a tree down, what do? You water it. What happens? The roots take off. They start growing and spreading in the soil. That's what will happen to you. The minute you gain a skill into your hands, which is a skill that's not going to, no one can take it from you again, it's part and parcel of you. It will go anywhere in the world that you go. So when you have a skill in your hand, which is your talent, that's it. You have that money in your hand tied in. So that money you invested is tied in your hands. So we're talking about what I offer you now. This is our home certification course. And in there, this particular one is sealed, but I've shown you videos with this before. In here are 30 DVDs. 30 DVDs that's talking about different techniques. So 21 are the actual hands-on skill, and 2 DVDs are talking about hair extensions, where they come from, what they are, how you understand them, and then 7 are talking about how to grow your skill. Now the good thing with having skill in your hands, which we've been talking about all along, is there are no redundancies. Remember, I got made redundant, and then what happened to me? My bills were still coming in, and there was no more money coming in. There are no unemployment, writing for so many jobs, standing on that queue every day, wondering if they're going to reply you, if they're going to tell you they have a job. Oh my goodness, are they going to like me? Will they think that I'm not good enough for the job? And all that goes with it. There's no worry about, oh yeah, you got to the pension age, that's it. I'm now 50, and then suddenly, if I was working, I'll start counting. Oh my goodness, how many more years before I'll be told to stop work, and then where is my pension coming from? And so these are things you don't have to worry about when you have a skill in your hands. And then you're not also worrying about, but I want to leave this town, I'm fed up with this, and I want to move to another city. But my job is not going to move. And will they be able to take me to that new place on the same level? So many things come with you having a skill in your hands. I don't have to keep emphasizing it. And so it's down to you. Now, our DVD pack is on our website, Hair Extensions and Beauty. We're going to put it in the description box again. It is here. And we also offer, in addition to this, our Skype support. Skype support is about me talking to you whenever you have any problems. Because what we found out with the training we have, nobody calls us. Why? Because we made it very clear. But then it's available whenever you do need us. So this is how good this training is. No one, all the places I went for training, has ever offered me, Joy, if you get confused, just call me. No, everybody wants to move on. They're carrying on with their life. They're doing their things. You don't count. They've taken your money. They're happy. I'm not that kind of person. My role is to share a part of me. And that's why I love doing what I do. So put a skill in your hand. It doesn't have to be my skill. But if you know, we've talked about it, if you know hair happens to be your passion, and if you know working with natural hairstyles, braids, weaves, extensions happen to be your passion, you know where we are. It's nothing like buying an iPhone where you're going to be paying lots and lots of money, standing on the queue waiting for iPhone 6, and tomorrow there'll be iPhone 7 and iPhone 8, and you have to keep upgrading and upgrading. You may add more as you go along, but this gives you money back. iPhone 6, iPhone 7, which is not like you're not having a phone, brings no other money back than just the same, make a call, go on the internet, do what every other phone does. If that's what makes you happy, that's fine. But if your issue in life is, I want to get some money back into my life, I want to grow the money I have, then you should be thinking again. So I've talked about this, and I hope I've got the message across. The money you invest in your hands is who you are. That's what's going to change your world. I know that for sure because it happened to me. Because I invested in my hands years ago, and today I am proud that I did that. Now I travel the world. I go places. I could just hop in the car, my family and I, we're driving off to somewhere exotic, exciting. If you follow me on Facebook or Instagram, you see the images of places, because I love traveling as well. It's one of my passions. So once you've confirmed how your money comes in, how your money goes out will just be again a part of you. And that's what's happening to me now. I can afford to throw money into jewelry, whatever I like that I like to buy. I could afford to say, oh, I like that shoe, I like that earring, I like that perfume, because I have worked hard to make that money. So it's not like the little money I have, let me buy a ring and perfume first. No, I didn't do that. So if you wanted to know how I did it, that's my story. And I've told it over and over and over. I've talked to you how to start saving money in little bits. So if you knew the training pack was $2,000, for instance, and you really want to have that one, you could tell yourself every month, I put $100 aside. How long will it take me before I can get $2,000? You plan it. If you know that's a bit too stiff for you, you could go for the one video at a time or one DVD at a time. Okay, maybe about $30, $35. Okay, I will put this down slowly. Instead of buying food, this is another area we're going to go to at some point. the food we're eating most times is not healthy for us. Lots of us spend so much money on food. I mean, you walk into the supermarket or the mall, and you see people and trolleys as high as that. And what are we eating? Sugar and more sugar and more sugar. And what is it doing to us? Just making us ill. You're basically using your money to buy illness. We'll talk about that, because that's one of my big things. I have a huge passion for health, because I have lost so many loved ones in my life, and it made me curious. Why is this happening? So if you find that all your money is just going into food because you think it's a necessity, it is not. Even the Bible says it. Man shall not live by bread alone. So if you think food is the only thing that's going to make you live, you're getting it wrong. There are other ways you can make your body healthier and happier without throwing in all that sugar. So start looking. Hence, when we started, we said, look where your money is going. Go into your account. Go into your purse. Find out where you're putting the money. And if what you have to do first is grow it, then do that first. I have no problems with people who have so much money and they want to splash it. Nothing is wrong with that. But if you don't have it and you want to be like the Joneses, because she's splashing, she's got iPhone 6s, I want that too. You're not going to get anywhere with that, because she knows where her money is coming from and she's paying her bill without any stress. Can you pay your bill without stress? Those are the questions. So think hard. So once you've got your skill, this is my final advice. Once you've got your skill, now you remember we said, open your heart, find the things you enjoy doing and do them. Stick to what you enjoy. Because people give up very easily once it's not what they want. Hence you hear people say, but what is the proof that I will learn? The only reason you can't learn is because it's not really you. It's not really what's inside you. So that's the only thing I can tell anybody who asks me that. Because if it's what is inside you, all you are looking for is support, is guidance. So if you find out what I offer is what you're looking for, fine, I'm ready to support you. But if it's not, and there's something else, maybe food, maybe fashion, maybe makeup, maybe beauty, you name it, whatever else that's really inside you, go and find it. Once you found it, stick to it. Don't let anything stop you, because there will always be something out there aiming to stop you. If you listen to our last video, I was talking about how the various, they call it principalities and powers of this earth, how they sit there and constantly want to distract us from what God has actually asked us to do. So don't give up. Whatever happens, whatever happens, there are hurdles on the way. They will come. I had a student only recently, she tried getting into a salon to work with a lady, and this lady frustrated her in every form. And we had a chat, and I said to her, that is nothing new. When I started, I had all types of frustrations. It did not stop me. So don't let anything stand on your way. If you find you're struggling and you really at your wit's end, you have no idea how to come out of this, please, I'm available. Email me. Tell me what's going on, and I will guide you. That's why I'm here. I will guide you. So take on whatever is deep inside you, chase it to the very end, follow it wherever it takes you, and you will come out at the end of the tunnel. You know what they say, at the end of the tunnel comes this bright light. That's what will happen. That's what will happen. So remember to keep at it. And I'd like to hear from you. Even when you're doing great, things are happening the way you dreamt, I want to hear. If you find we've supported you, we've helped you, you've listened to us and something we said changed something you, I like to hear from you, because we get people really telling us that, and that inspires us. That makes me want to do more, because that way I'm able to support other people who are still there, you know, way back down there. We need to help each other come out. We need to help each other grow. So that's why we're here. So remember to follow us in all our social media, because when you follow us, you get to know what we're up to, what we're doing. And please subscribe, because when you subscribe to a channel, you get to know all the videos that come out. Everything that happens, you get to know it first. You don't get wondering. People still come here and they say, I haven't seen which one was that one again? If you subscribe, you won't be asking me, because you automatically know when something happened. Again, remember to share these messages. So if you find what I'm saying is helping you, you may have a friend who needs this help as well. Remember to share it. We're here to share and help each other out of all the situation we're in. So I wish you peace and love, and I want you to keep being happy. Remember, happiness is the best state of mind. Once you're happy, good things come your way. Once you're sad, everything negative comes your way. So I hope to see you in the next video. Remember our website, Hair Extensions and Beauty, for all our videos. And worldofbraiding.com is where we do the downloads. And then you can make your comments or email us. You have all those details. We'll put them all in the description box. So thank you so much for watching our video.